I did try to learn a lot about the Korean history. It's very interesting and fascinating for me to understand who, like, the political leaders are and the different groups that got along and didn't get along in Burma. But typically, many of the people didn't like to share too much because it was so hard and just really hard experiences for them. And one lady I taught, she had to come without her husband because he was killed in Burma, and so she came with her kids, and I thought she was so strong for doing that. And one of her kids stayed in Thailand, and she came over to Minnesota with one of her other daughters. And many families were split up by that because Korean people just were willing to do what they needed to for their kids. And it was so sad when they hadn't seen their families for like 10 years. And one of my good friends who was a member, and she helped us learn the language a lot, her family had many kids, and some of her sisters went to, I think it was Norway, from the camps. And so they started their new life there. And then the rest of her family did come to the U.S., but they had one brother that they never knew what happened to him, one older brother, and they don't even know if he's alive or not. Many of them still own land in Burma, and they hope to go back someday when it's safer and when there isn't as much fighting between all the different groups of people. Since there are I think there's 8 ethnic groups in Burma, just with the leaders and with the Burmese government trying to kind of take over these other groups and other states, and not being very civil about it. And with Korean people having to flee, many of them hope that someday, through better leaders, they will be able to go back and get their lands back and their life back because they loved it there. That was their home. And they're glad for a new life here, but they miss it. It's a different lifestyle here, of course, and lots of changes. And their history is really sad. But Korean people are still some of the nicest, happiest people I've met.